October the 23rd, 2024. Guys, you're looking at some information that I think is very relative to some of the hurricanes that we've seen, and we've talked about possible land grabs and lithium and quartz deposits and things like that. And we're going to get into that, but I just want to say I saw in the comments some people were asking about where I'd been, and my voice is a little weak right now, but I wanted to put this up because I hadn't been able, I just got out of the hospital. They rushed me in Monday morning, and I'm going to have to go back probably tomorrow, but while I can, I want to talk about this a moment, because we talked about in Arkansas, not Arkansas, but possibly, this article is about Arkansas, but we were talking about the Carolinas, Tennessee, Virginia, in that area. Tennessee, don't let me leave anyone out. We were talking about lithium and quartz. And now, we saw that area destroyed, and we saw the response by the government, or the non-response, and actually in some cases it was almost illegal response, especially the rotor wash from the National Guard helicopter. And I know the helicopters were in from a couple of different states, but it was not the North Carolina Guard. It was, I think, an Ohio Guard copter that came down, and they grounded them, probably patted them on the head and sent them somewhere else. So it's been pretty demonic. But this just came out today, and I just saw it as I had time to get home from the hospital and relax a moment. And let me say this. I was having problems, pretty bad problems, Monday morning, and I think I mentioned that they had found that I'd had a stroke a while back on my right side, and Monday morning it felt like it was moving to the left side. So a bit, like I said, went through 2 CAT scans, or 3, and an MRI. One was with imaging. And what they found was, again, they saw the stroke on the right side, and I thought it was moving to the left. It was so severe. We're not sure it hasn't yet, because they haven't really gotten up into that area, but they found what's called, let me see, I've got it written down because I couldn't remember. It's called a aortic aneurysm, and it's between my heart, it's up in my neck, just under my brain. And so they're waiting to get the right doctor in. It may be first thing in the morning, I'm not sure. I got to take it real easy. They don't want it to bust and bleed out. But I owe it to you guys to kind of let you know. And this was the one thing I thought was very important for a couple of reasons. Again, they're talking about the groundbreaking study led by the U.S. Geological Survey revealed a potentially massive lithium reserve beneath southwestern Arkansas. In Arkansas, watch out. You just saw what happened to the Carolinas. Anyway, which researchers say far exceeds the current worldwide demand. They don't say for how long, do they? But they need them for the lithium batteries for solar. They need them for solar panels. They need all of that. And what they're thinking is that the deep state, or whoever's running the government, will become wealthy on something else, try to control the world's lithium supply, maybe not the oil supply, but so much land is being sold out to foreign nations, China, etc., that we don't really know who will end up with it. Again, I'll link to this, but it says, according to the study published in Science Advances, researchers estimate between 5 and 19 million tons of lithium reserves are present in the region. Arkansas, the target's on you. They may have already done the damage east of you. If commercially recoverable, the supply would potentially meet the projected 2030 world demand for lithium. This is about climate change. They know it's not true, but if they can get the carbon taxes they need, the upper level gets richer. It says a projected 2030 world demand for lithium and car batteries 9 times over, according to the press release Monday by the U.S. agency. USGS Director David Applegate said the discovery has several meaningful implications. Lithium is a critical mineral for the energy transition to the global green system. I have nothing against it, but don't use climate change for your reasons. says, and the potential for increased U.S. production to replace imports has implications for employment, manufacturing, supply chain, and lobbyists to become wealthy. Says the study illustrates the value of science in addressing economically important issues. Well, they've peed off China. A lot of the other nations are not going to get much more lithium from them. That's on purpose. But this is a grab. This may not even end up in the pockets of someone in our nation. It says the Smackover Formation, that's what they're calling it, a remnant of an ancient sea, extends under parts of Arkansas. Now pay very close attention to these states. Arkansas, Louisiana. Have you seen any damage? Florida. I don't have to say much more. Mississippi, our state. Alabama and Texas. These are the hardest hit storm states as far as hurricanes. Catherine Newrim, the study's principal researcher and a USGS hydrologist, cautioned that while the estimates are substantial, they cannot predict how much is recoverable. They'll find a way, guys, if they got to poison the water and do anything else. But the only way they can get in there and do it is to get this area evacuated. Now, they're saying that researchers are utilizing machine learning, a form of AI, to create predicted maps of lithium concentrations throughout the Smackover Formation. That's what they call it. Samples from Arkansas were analyzed at the USGS Bryan Research Instrumentation and Experimental Lab in Ruston, Virginia, and compared with historical data from the USGS-produced water database, according to the press releases. The USGS and scientists as well work best as a partnership and to rip you off, and this important research was possible because of our strong partnership with the Deep State and the Office of the Arkansas State Geologist. Now, I would love to hear something from Sarah Huckabee. I hope she gets this information. I hope these places aren't sold to China, and I hope people aren't destroyed by storms. The USGS has served as the nation's primary source of impartial scientific information since the hoax of climate change, geologic, energy, and mineral resources since 1879. It also tracks lithium production, demand, and imports in the U.S. under a role mandated by the Energy Act of 2020. Now, guys, I just got looking at a map over the Caribbean Gulf and the Atlantic Ocean. Nothing much out there. There is a system, guys, for our friends in the upper northeast above the U.S., that there's a large center of rotation that may bring you a lot of wind and storms. I tell you what, let's go there. Now, this is COD radar. We watch it on every hurricane or tornado event that we use. It's a link on our website, bpearthwatch.com, called COD, okay? And it has many features to change it from infrared to current. But anyway, everything's pretty cool here. Nothing much in the Gulf, nothing much in the Caribbean. We are seeing some system moves off of Africa, but look at this reverse current along the convergence zone. That's not very normal. Things have shifted. Everything is at this. Remember, maybe 6 weeks ago, I talked about the angle of the shift. Look at that. Now, the problem is right here. We have a low pressure system spinning. It's dry on the west and south side. But up in this area, guys, you know where you're at. It looks like you're going to get scathed. Now, it probably won't be anything but, a large storm. I don't think it will be subtropical, but they can do a lot of damage. You just need to be prepared. You may get some snow depending on your current conditions, and you may have some rising tides. It's very large. Look at that. But if things were not the way they were, and by the way, this system is the storms that I was telling you was going to curve up this way. The other one across the Mexican Peninsula and is out into the Pacific. But this is the culmination of a couple systems, but they were to open into this low pressure system and move in this direction. Well, we will watch this, but it's almost like an anti wind as far as a convergence zone through this area. And there are some systems building up over this section of Africa. Guys, I just want to kind of touch base with you. The only weather that I see, again, you got this system, You've got this system moving into the northeast. Will they interact? More than likely they will. But it looks like, looking at the high pressure on other maps, it will not impact this section of the nation, but continue north and catch it up in this area. We're watching it, guys. By the way, if any of you guys are Paul Begley watchers at Pastor Paul's channel, Paul Begley Prophecy, I want y'all to let him know next time you get to talk to him how much he called me for about 10, 15 minutes last night in the hospital, and we prayed together. He prayed for me. And if you get a chance to mention it to him, tell him that meant everything. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.